Prodigal Steve returns with more Afterbirth Plus. How's it going, everybody? I did the daily today, and it was basically my worst nightmare of a run, so I have high hopes for this Eden run. Now, I'm not saying that we're guaranteed to get a better start here, but I am saying that the bar is set pretty low. Fingers crossed. Yeah, this is already really good. KWH78FH1, starting with 9 lives and Diplopia. Bad rate of, well, not a terrible rate of fire, a bad shot speed though, and basically average damage and above average luck unless you're Kane. So I feel positive about this run to begin with. Now, we got room to grow on this one. I'll put it that way. It's not like our last Eden run, where we started with Brimstone and, you know, the game just handed us our win immediately. But starting with 1/3 of the Guppy Dream is pretty good. I don't know why I used the World card there and decided to keep the High Priestess. I thought it was the Empress, and I intended to save it for perhaps a challenging boss fight moving forward, but this is not strictly relevant. So money equals power is a good item in that any money we acquire is going to give us damage. However, it has a drawback of us being less inclined to visit shops, and by visit shops I mean spend money in shops, since it will cost us damage, and there aren't many opportunities in the shop to regain damage. Unless you have Chaos. Yeah, this is actually really good. We don't need the charge key for anything in particular. I'm going to go to the shop just on the hopes that we get a couple of luck upgrades here, which we did not acquire, unfortunately, but now we are slightly above average damage, which is a welcome change from today's daily. In the event that you're wondering, today is the 4th of April, 2017, and the daily was a Maggie run to Mom, where, you know, your mileage may vary, but my particular iteration of the daily received its first damage upgrade on Depths 2. So you could just go ahead and connect the dots from there to suss out how I felt about that run. We don't want Anarchist Cookbook for anything, really, especially because we've already gotten into our secret room. Had that explosive spider not blown up where it did, which was pure happenstance, we may have chosen to use Anarchist Cookbook in an attempt to get into that room. And now looking at this Tinted Rock, I actually do believe we will attempt to use Anarchist Cookbook to access that. But, you know, there's a couple of situations that we could use Anarchist Cookbook on this floor and gain some value out of it before leaving it behind for Diplopia, which is obviously substantially better than... Well, that's not fair, necessarily. It's not objectively better, but Diplopia certainly has a higher potential than Anarchist Cookbook. This room is actually, like, complete garbage, by the way. Gating these portals behind rocks and then letting them spawn spiders and things in there so you can't move in there without taking damage to kill the portals is like, come on, guys. Get out here. See? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Is it slightly my fault for taking that damage? Yeah, a little bit. But also, like, those spiders move too quickly. They're like heat-seeking missiles, and when they decide that, no, okay, you're going to take damage now, no matter where you are on the room, they are going to be on top of you immediately. I'm being ever so slightly facetious. I'm exaggerating slightly for comedic effect, but, you know, hidden within that joke is a kernel of my true thoughts. Mostly in that I strongly dislike spider enemies. Anyway, Anarchist Cookbook acquired us a single spirit heart, which is, as far as I'm concerned, about the best value I've gotten out of Anarchist Cookbook in a very long time. Oh, that coffee's still very warm. Okay. Well, if we want to do something goofy in Boss Rush with Diplopia, which is always, you know, an option, i.e. you go into Boss Rush and you have 4 items available to you. Use Diplopia. You can take the 4 copies without causing Boss Rush to begin. And then you can pick one of those items to get a second copy of, and that will actually activate Boss Rush and cause all of the rest of the items to disappear. So as long as you take one of the original items 5th, essentially, you will gain 5 total items. Admittedly, there could only be 2 items in Boss Rush, so you would get at most 3 items, but the general theory still stands. An angel chest, huh? It's interesting. I'll come back to it. I think those are largely not worth it, in my experience. I just don't think they typically have a good enough payout to be worth, you know, any number of keys, really. But I could be convinced. Bomber Boy is perfectly acceptable in that it gives us 5 bombs, and I need to be a little bit more on point about placing bombs and stepping far enough away, but that's certainly a very manageable consequence to gain 5 bombs early. Speaking of 5 bombs early, let's try here. Okay. What about there? I was hoping to get into our shop without spending a key. Pyro would be great if we could get there. But unless we gain flying on this floor, which is not impossible, just improbable. Unless we gain flying on this floor or a Hanged Man card or the Bible somehow, we are unlikely to be able to access those 99 bombs, since 2 of the rocks were replaced with spikes and 2 of them were replaced with blocks. Absolutely, I'll use a bomb here for 6 cents because that is a sweet, sweet damage up. Yeah, almost 0.4 damage, and then I'll use another one for a little bit more damage and also a tinted rock. And I'm actually not sure how much HP I have. I know I have a single red heart container. I'm not interested in Bob's Brain, although I suppose I could be convinced to take it. I know we have a single red heart container and some number of spirit hearts that's non-zero. Is 0 technically a number? Oop, hang on. Spilled a little bit of coffee there. Okay. I just put a Kleenex on top of it, in case you were wondering what my solution to spilling a little bit of coffee mid-episode was. Alright, let's come in here, and we do get 2 luck upgrades, which are also technically 2 damage ups. Thanks to money equals power. Very, very nearly got hit and lost some of our damage there, thanks to this greed head, but I feel like I'm seeing the board pretty well here today. You know, after that daily where I really, really had to be on my A game just to finish it, I feel like I'm playing fairly well. I couldn't possibly be less interested in anything in that room, so I'm just going to move along and try here for second secret room. No. Well, it can't possibly be adjacent to that room, so I have no idea. Let's just go fight our boss and, yeah, get dunked on, Lil Horn, you jerk. I don't really want Betrayal, if I'm being honest. Like, it's a bad item. So I think I'm going to spurn this deal. Like, we could take it for precedent, and that's probably the wise decision since we're already a third of the way to Guppy. And we don't necessarily want deals with the Angel since they're, without Chaos, very, very unlikely. And by very, very unlikely, I mean literally impossible to give us Guppy unless we also have the left hand and we get a chest in our deal with the Angel. But look, we're getting into some fringe scenarios here. that aren't necessarily relevant to this run. Okay. I hate this room. But yeah, we should definitely have accepted that deal for precedent so that we could increase our odds of becoming Guppy in the future. But we'll see. We can always... We're not even guaranteed to get a deal with the Angel. We might get a deal with the Devil on the next floor, or on this floor, rather. Our next deal may be a deal with the Devil in which we get Guppy. You never know. Whatever. I honestly don't care. Like, we're doing fine HP-wise, relatively. We've located our boss already. We have more damage, I think, than I ever had on today's daily. That might not be true, because I did get Chaos on the last floor as well, and that gave me Dark Matter and Champion Belt, which are probably slightly more damage than this together. Not interested in that. Let's just go fight the boss, yeah? Alright, deal with that. Do that. Stop spawning bomb flies, though. Okay, we didn't get any deal at all, but we did get an HP and a luck up, and we have almost 7 luck. When did that happen? We got 2 luck upgrades from a shop. We got Magic Scab. We got... Latchkey's a luck upgrade, isn't it? Okay. That still only counts for like 4 luck ups, though, so we must have gotten... 2 other luck upgrades somewhere? I'm very confused right now. I mean, I'm thankful. We are too slow to outrun Lust. Excuse me? I'm not going to take that pill. I'm not interested. Alright, well, we should go find our item room. This is actually like one of the better iterations of this particular room, since it doesn't have the god-awful hosts, which I'm very, very much on record as hating, with perhaps the, you know, most burning passion known to man. I did not realize that there was a Ipecac body over here. I don't actually know what those enemies are called. It's alright, though. Let's move along. That's not interesting to me even remotely. At least not at this point. Curse of the Maze. Can you actually just not with me today? And by today, I mean literally ever. Garbage-ass mechanic. That was the most adorable noise any enemy in this game has ever made. Alright, both the portals are gone, which is very, very welcome. A little surprised that I got that dodge there. That was honestly just lucky positioning. I can't take too much credit for that. I would like this fat bat to get away from me, though. And or get off of the mushroom so that I can kill you. Either way. Curse of the Maze, please. I am begging you. Can you just stop being such a petulant-ass child about everything? Alright, get rid of these enemies so that we can access our item room. Hope for, honestly, anything at this point. Like, a shot speed up would be welcome. Since we're doing pretty good in all other categories, this is also excellent. Piercing Tears are something that I want on every single run. And while Cupid's Arrow is one of the least exciting items that grants you Piercing Tears, I was going to say iteration again, but I've used that word probably like 8 times on this, you know, in this video already, so I'm going to try and stray away from that, but you know, Cupid's Arrow is one of the least exciting versions of Piercing Tears. It's still Piercing Tears. Alright. Get through that room without taking damage. This is not the room that you're supposed to be in, but okay. We're about a full floor behind schedule here. Which isn't the worst thing in the world. But I would like to do some shenaniganry here with Diplopia and Boss Rush. Also, please, with this, though. Come on. Not in a hurry. It's fine. Garbage-ass hosts. Alright. Move along here. And walk directly into a mushroom shot for no reason? Okay, we gotta right the ship here. We were doing fine on HP earlier, but I've squandered all the spirit hearts we've gotten thus far, and it's a little discouraging. We'll stick with the Emperor for now. If I can get even a single spirit heart, which I actually can in this room, I will then pop the Emperor card and go to our boss fight immediately. That way we can preserve our potential deal. Step over here. We'll take our black heart, we'll Emperor, and we'll get the Fallen. So we're going to get a deal with the Devil item regardless of what happens here. Not doing quite as much damage to the Fallen here as I would expect, but we are just on caves too, so not normally when you would expect to fight the Fallen necessarily. He does a full heart of contact damage. Excuse me. Okay, we got Brimstone, and we got to deal with the Devil, and I can feel a sneeze coming. Hang on. Okay. I could be convinced to leave Brimstone, since we just had it on the last run, but this deal with the Devil would have had to be amazing, and Krampus is not an amazing deal with the Devil. It's not even a deal with the Devil that we want, necessarily. Alright, piercing tears don't push bombs. It's my bad. We did still get the bomb damage, though. Lump of Coal is excellent, as always. 2 bombs and a penny is functionally 2 bombs and a damage up, and we'll take our Brimstone and we'll move along. And we still have the potential of deals with the Angel here. And we've already paid our Krampus tax, so this run is in an interesting spot. Normally you don't end up with 9 lives, Brimstone, and a Lump of Coal without precedent. But that's okay. Ooh. Wait for the triple shot. Deal with that. The only thing that this run is lacking now is damage. Or, is not damage, is HP. Our damage is sorted, our rate of fire is sorted, our tear effect is sorted. You know, all in all, we're in a great spot on this run. Except that we are very susceptible to dying. Oh, yeah, this is real good. I'm glad I took Brimstone. Brimstone Rubber Cement is super weird, and I actually genuinely love it as a synergy. Okay, well, I'm not that interested in the shop, so I think I'm just gonna go, actually. I mean, there could be a Spirit Heart in there, but, you know, the more powerful we become, the less likely we are to take damage, so the less pertinent having HP is. We need to remember that we're on, like, a heart and a half. What in the world am I supposed to do in this room, guys? These are the most annoying trap rooms in the game, in my opinion. Because there's like... they're too erratic. The other trap rooms are predictable at the very least. Not so with that room. We do need to find something to use Diplopia on. If we go quickly on this floor, it could be boss rush. We still need to beat this floor and the next floor, though, so a Emperor card would go a long way to ensuring our boss rush dream becomes a boss rush reality. Okay. That's not exactly what I had hoped to happen there, but I'm glad that that worked. And we can skip item rooms at this point. We don't need anything else on this run necessarily. Like, this run can carry us through to whatever final boss we choose to fight. Very likely Blue Baby, but we'll see. So that puts us at 3 red heart containers, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, I'm going to skip the item room on this floor in the interest of making boss rush happen. Yeah, we're doing so much damage. Plus we have Rubber Cement Brimstone, which will absolutely destroy boss rush. So now we just have to get there, and Curse of the Lost is going to make that slightly more difficult than I would like it to, but it's alright. We'll take our Spirit Heart and our damage ups, aka our money, and then we'll move along here, and we'll just keep following our right-hand rule and hope that in the next minute and a half we can find our boss fight and be done. And that will skip 2 item rooms, so we're putting a lot of our hopes and dreams on good items to Diplopia in boss rush, but I think we have a pretty good chance of making some good stuff happen there. So, we're not going to skip one of our item rooms because we've actually found it, and I'm glad we didn't skip this one. Cricket's head is huge. I'm going to take the time to pick up the pennies because they are technically damage ups. We could play that. I'm cognizant that that would also be a damage up for us at the cost of some red hearts that we are ideally not using anyway. But time is more of the essence here. And with that in mind... Okay, our HP issue from recent memory is no longer consequential. We just did half of Mom's HP in a single Brimstone Blast. 100% I'm going to take the Polaroid. Going to come into this room, and we'll take both of these because it will actually activate Dark Prince's Crown, which I am quite fond of. And we'll come in here, and we're going to get 2 Capricorns. I don't know how much that's going to do for us, but... Alright, so we take Capricorn. Oh, this does start boss rush. It just doesn't remove the items. Fair enough. Well, we'll take Multi-Dimensional Baby as well, for no real reason. And then we'll take our second Capricorn, which actually was a slight damage up, so happy to have it. And then we'll sort boss rush out here. Oh, Peep's already dead. Excellent. Get out of here, adversary. Nobody asked you to be here today. Alright. Oh, the angel statue actually survived. Sure. Where's Dark One at? Don't stand underneath Dark One. He does this Brimstone attack if you do that. You know better. If you take damage there, it's 100% on you. And by on you, I mean on me. I'm speaking directly to myself in this one. I'm not blaming you, the viewer, for that damage. You would never be foolish enough to stand beneath the Dark One. Willingly take a Brimstone laser to the face. Oh, okay. On our next wave already. Mega Fatty and some version of Brownie or whatever. What's that, Dangle? Is that the name of the dingle-shaped half of the Brownie boss? I believe it is. I mean, technically that's a boss in its own right, but as far as I'm concerned, it's basically just the second half of the Brownie fight. Please don't ever do that again. I don't understand why, like, the physics logic behind why Blastocyst does that. Like, when you kill a section of it, it immediately just, like, teleports over towards you. Like, you tractor beam it in for no reason. We'll take Farting Baby for really no reason at all. And then we'll move along. I just steamroll this run directly into the ground, which is very welcome after the daily. Okay. I will, assuming our HP is still in the position that it is now, I will do the Hush Fight. I will probably not do Delirium unless something like really pushes this one even further over the edge. Like, that is how much I detest delirium. Also, it occurs to me that our Dark Prince's crown was immediately invalidated by Capricorn, which is not the worst thing in the world to happen, but I would like a deal with the devil on this floor or the next floor to mitigate that. You know, get back into our bonus territory, even though I'm not 100% sure what the bonuses from Dark Prince's crown are. Possibly an all stats up, possibly just damage. Either way, I want it. Like, did we curse the maze here? Or is that just our starting room? Okay. It's very disconcerting to me. Rib of Greed is probably, if I had to hazard a guess, not what we are looking for on this one. I'm going to blow up the blood bank, even though it could have been sweet, sweet damage. We're getting close to 99 cents anyway, and if we want to... Oh, excuse me? The poop doesn't break when you step into it? Okay, sure. If we want to get rid of our red HP, we have access to 3 demon judgments, so not overly concerned about that situation. Take our 0.05 damage up. We're gonna inadvertently explore all of this floor. I would rather not. I'd kind of just like to get to the boss. But this is a very long, and by long I mean like tall floor. Yep. 2 times? You hit me 2 times? No, I do not accept this. My iframe should be long enough such that I don't have to take damage twice against this thing. Okay. I'm leaving. I'm not going to do any room with hosts that I don't have to do. It continues to just be a blanket policy that I have because hosts are garbage enemies that should not be in the game. They're one of the few enemy types that break the flow of the game, which is like, honestly, their biggest sin as far as I'm concerned. Alright, we've located our boss fight after much hardship, and by much hardship, I mean much stupid damage on my end. Just can't really blame the game for that, but, you know, I'm gonna try. Got our second secret room, which gave us very little of value. That was not the appropriate way to dodge that one. I'm going to own that bit of damage. And then wait 1,000 years to actually be granted the opportunity to kill Skull-X here. Once per generation, his tail is visible, and you are able to murder him. I'm going to take Maw of the Void, because I can't take both of these and retain Dark Prince's crown, which appears to just be a damage up. And I'm not overly fond of Maw of the Void, but it does accomplish an additional goal, so I will accept it. And now I'm looking at our HP, and I'm thinking, probably don't do the Hush fight. Too many times I have... I like that it does both of them. It gives me that my Brimstone is charged and my Maw of the Void is charged. But too many times I've been like, oh no, we can definitely kill Hush on this one, and then proceeds to die to Hush. It's like, we have 9 lives, we'll be okay. No, you will not be okay. You're gonna die to the Hush, probably. If we had the Wafer or Cancer even, the Stopwatch, something of this variety, you know, an item of that ilk, I would consider it. Something that could give us HP, the Relic, although Relic won't give us HP over the course of the fight, so maybe like Gimpy or something. One day, I will see this mythical Maw of the Void payout. But it's unlikely to be on this run, since we are actually killing everything with our Brimstone Laser almost immediately. Alright, well that'll put us at 99 cents, which is the maximum damage bonus we can attain, which is exciting. Might as well take the keys. With almost 11 luck, I would expect to get a number of chests on the chest. Ace of clubs. Sure. Doesn't actually matter. Beautiful. High Priestess and High Priestess. Sure. I don't think we can use the High Priestess against... Oh, we can. Huh. Look at that. Learn something new every day. In particular, that we are still very, very slow. Brother Bobby is not going to do it. And at 2.5 HP, yeah, I'm going to skip the... Hush fight on this one. Instead, I'll just go up to the cathedral, fight Isaac, go to the chest, win the game. Okay. The Lump of Coal aura plus Curse of Darkness is, like, more than a little disconcerting. Sort of amazed that A, exploded as early as it did, and B, did not damage us. So, grateful for that if I'm being honest. Okay, what in the world is this floor layout, though? Get out of here, ghosts. You also annoy me, because you have, like, 1 frame of vulnerability, which I think I've already complained about in maybe even the last episode. Alright, so we did finally get a Maw of the Void payout, I think. I'm not sure that was Maw of the Void, but I don't think any of those enemies could have just naturally dropped a Blackheart, so I'm going to, you know, give Maw of the Void the benefit of the doubt there and say that it did, in fact, grant us a single Blackheart on this run. Which is sort of a, you know, back-end compliment, but I sort of mean it that way, if I'm being honest. What do you got for me, Sloth? Ace of Spades. These ace cards are all so bad. Like, I don't want to convert those into keys. We have 23 keys. And even with 11 luck, we're unlikely to need that many keys without Blank Card Yera. I'm actually not sure if the Blank Card Yera is auto-breakfasting still, or if it actually gives you items like it's presumably intended to. There's a lot of scuttlebutt about it on the subreddit when it was first discovered, and I haven't seen anything about it since. So, I suppose I'll have to actually go out of my way to sort that one out. I could just, like, activate a mod and use the console to figure it out, but, you know, I'd rather somebody on the subreddit just do it for me. Save me the trouble. Alright, so we're on the Isaac fight. We're halfway through the Isaac fight, give or take. Okay, that was not the appropriate dodge in that situation, in case you were wondering, nor was that. Any items that give us HP here on the chest would be welcome, certainly. Curse of the Lost is annoying, but not the worst thing in the world. Speed and range, actually, yeah, I welcome the speed up. Varicose Veins is fine with Brimstone. Not necessarily what I was looking for out of those chests, if I'm being honest, but I think we still have enough going for us that we can beat Blue Baby, what I typically consider to be easier than Isaac. I don't know how good Zodiac is as an item. I don't think it's actively bad or anything. That is not interesting to me at all. Yeah, alright. As I say, I would expect that the stain would be dead already. Wait, hang on. Oh, okay. We entered from the top, but it was Gertie, so they placed us at the bottom. I was gonna say, do we have, like, did I take a question mark pill in the last 2 seconds without knowing it and get Curse of the Maze as well as Curse of the Lost, which is the slowest possible curse combination known to man? That means nothing to me. Honestly, but we'll take it since we don't have a another spacebar item, at least yet. We're not likely to get any use out of it, since we would have to find both of our secret rooms and also our boss, and then it would just take us to the deal with the devil, which, you know, at that point is cute, but not actually that necessary. Sure, Kane's other eye, doesn't matter. Just gonna stack up all these items for really no reason at all. We already went this way, correct? No, we did not. Okay, well, this should have been our last possible direction if I followed my right-hand rule, but it's okay. Alright, well, there goes the Little Horn, and there goes the Fallen. Yeah, so this run is certainly over. It just doesn't realize it yet. Excuse me, Little Horn. Thank you. Another chest. Abel. Alright, well, in the event that we were going to lose this run, we will absolutely win it now. We've got that sweet, sweet Abel carry. You know, just my luck. Have a good run becomes amazing on the chest thanks to that Abel play. I'm gonna use Book of Secrets for no reason. Get out of here, Blow. Varicose Veins is incredible. With Brimstone rubber Cement. What in the world is happening on this floor, though? I have no idea where we are anymore. We're back at the start, excuse me? I'm very confused now. And also very lost as well. Which is exciting. Okay, well, this is a room that has combat in it, so it's a good sign. Linger Bean. I don't think it matters on a regular run, really. Like, I think it literally does basically nothing for any run. So it's going to do especially little for this run. Please. I just want to find the boss. We've found the boss. Does not matter to me at all. Okay. It's actually taking a little bit longer to kill Blue Baby than I would expect. We were still very, very much going to win, and in fact we did, and I'm not going to do the Void, because it's a bad floor, and it's a bad boss, and I hate it. And I refuse to give it any more video time than is strictly necessary, so that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. As always, feedback is welcome in the comments below, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.